this is the year to truly make it or break it, as we see so many people waking up to the higher degrees, willing to move into their self-empowerment, the power coming from the self within and seeking that knowledge. So going back to the origin is removing everything that is not part of the origin. So that may sound like a lot to delete, right? We need to delete the emotional body. We need to eliminate everything that steals our energy. We need, you know, to sort of make or create a veil to the outer world, because all they want to do is take away your life, take away your breathing system. The respiratory tracts have been broken massively within the earth, within the earth's population, and amongst many spaces in this universe. As we are repairing this, as we are looking at the new tree of life, there is massive capacity to re-empower yourself and willing to do the work. So being birthed in the soul droning degrees of consciousness, so to speak, it is timed and perfectly timed, actually, because there's but one timing, that is divine timing, when aligning yourself to your source and your spark within and breaking free from the constraints of society. Then you open up many light degrees that are pure intelligence, wisdom, knowledge. Then again, what holds us back most of the time is laziness. When we are born in soul consciousness, people are born on the degrees of laziness, and the idea, the incapacity of dealing with it and doing the work. But we can make new choices today when we are tired enough, you know, from the nonsense in the outer world. When we are tired enough with present day circumstances, then we will make that decision to move into self-empowerment and create light upon light upon light that brings us satisfaction upon satisfaction upon satisfaction, that opens up the creator beyond the creator beyond the creator, that brings the attraction through, that brings success through, that brings through new people, new business people, and everything that could ever bring you joy in your life. How many people live truly in joy? When, you know, when we look at the present day circumstances, then let's say 80% is accumulation of malfunctioning through social media and anything on the internet. When we look at the self, we want, most of the time, we just want to avoid the truth within self. We don't want to look at, you know, the emotions or seek for addictions, like, you know, addictions to alcohol, addictions to smoking, addictions to the food industry. So all of that is part of subtracting your energy, and anything in the outer world has been created in a way that you would get overly emotional and attached to emotions in order to keep you addicted to the malfunctioning, or let's say the age of enslavery, soul enslavery. But there's ways out of it, so hold on here. Moving in the higher degrees beyond, you know, the negativity in science today, because, you know, they don't come up with the recreation of the cellular construction of the body, or an atomic construction that moves in massive degrees of photonic light, so many million, billions of light configurations, opening geometry, languages of light, mathematics, all for your eyes to see crystal clear if you want that. So it's not only, I had a few videos about the pineal and how you can open up to see the invisible world so they become visible. Have a look at that, and how easy it sometimes can be to delete the emotional body. So the past 20 years we have been moving in a high level degree of installing the light body that synchronizes with the light body of the masters, the angelic kingdoms, all the hierarchies. So we can move into that. You can do it yourself, ask your alignment to your source, you can have a mentor, you can do an online course. So there's many possibilities. There's only one degree we need to delete, and that is just the, let's say, the laziness, and then also break through resistance, because what we resist persists, right? That is something we do know. How you get started is starting with your breathing system that has been killed. What has been killed needs to be repaired, and when that is being reinstalled and repaired, and you can breathe inside out like 10 or 20 miles without any stuck breathing, then you don't have any emotions and any old mentality attached to the old paradigm, the old ways of listening, living, and agreeing. There's nothing you need to agree upon except your own purity, your direct connect to your origin, and removing your emotional content on a daily level. With it comes the release of any attachment in the food industry, like animal foods, like anything that is cheese and milk and all those stuff that was never meant for human beings, and reason why disease was planted on the earth. They wanted to make you addicted to the smell only. Now, if you move into light body straight away and you work half an hour to an hour in the morning and at night, then you lift your energies, you open up the power of your heart system when your brain can fuse, and you can connect directly to the nucleus of knowledge, moving beyond the synthetics of the earth. And so the good news here is all the masters, all the light earth grids, squeezing the matrix. That is how it is happening, and the axis position in the universes are changing. So there is no more choices but going into light or remaining in the density. And that is why I said this year is gonna make or break you. We have the choice. Free will, moving from free will into divine will, is, and just loading it, just saying, you know, I'm one with divine will, I'm one with divine will. I request and allow the alignment to the divine will that comes to this color. That is also your spiritual embodiment or light body. So there's so many levels of consciousness, and I've already talked about parallel realities so much in my 2 former videos. Have a look at those. Like with the full moon coming through right now, that is where the universes are grounding. We need to move from 5th, 6th dimension, is where the emotional get into the heat of your attachment. And so disregarding the falseness of information can only come through experiencing it and working with it in a light environment. And so we can break that through. We can just breathe through light through the pituitary gland, the pineal, hypothalamic, thalamic, all those glands in the head, and command ourselves to move into the higher degree of light, with this our celestial, universal embodiments. And that is where you feel the power coming up. There is where you feel you start to delete the old worlds once and for all. This is the gate of knowledge. If you can see the arc of consciousness, the green arc of consciousness rising from the phoenix on this artwork, then you have it all going. So there is a starting point, because right now, to move into this very peaceful arc vibration that comes from the heart, as I said before, we need to break away from the chakra system, as that breaks you down into the lowest level of ego or soul consciousness. moving from that into spirit consciousness, opening up the pillars of enlightenment. That is where you start to work with the new tree of light, with all 22 letters in the alphabet. There's the Hebrew is very important, the English language, the Latin language. So working with languages of light, that can all open up when you install a first and foremost foundation into light, in which you feel the cosmological spirals, your eternal vibration moving with everything. Like at this present moment, I feel the light pulsing to my feet, to my hand, to my head, and that is how light speaks to you and gives you data that is special for your vibration. So getting to know you comes from deleting old consciousness, old attachment, and especially any and all emotion that pops up during the day. So this time around, it's very, very easy to do that. We can do that with light codes. Get a code through, for example, a letter or a geometrical pattern, a triangle, whatever you get, where you need to get it, or the lights code. Here, for example, I have a compass, a green compass. We can install that, breathe that through in the heart, make that circulate, and ask for a redirection. That is a way how a light code works. While working with green light go, you just invite it, you breathe it through inside out to the spinal column, and once you have that foundation with all 12 universes moving into the next, what we are doing with this first golden age, then you have any which way to go. So for those interested to go all the way, to set that crystalline vibration, that light body in which you will be the eternal healer, healing yourself and other people inside out. That course is minus 70% right now, with 22 MP3s to get you cleared out, to get you ready, moving into the celestial, celestial, universal bodies, which I only do in private, online, and over Zoom or Skype or whatever you fancy. So these are like huge, huge movements. And and from there on, we can finally move in what we wanted to get and where we wanted to get. That is in the etherical, angelic realms, in which you get those peaceful. And these realms, like when you breathe certain gemstones through, like the ones I'm wearing right here, this is angelite. From certain countries. This one is from Madagascar. We have the ones in Peru. We have the ones in Brazil. They massively assist you to keep that serenity, to keep your peace, and to delete at all times during the day, when you become a walking, talking meditation, just continuously breathing one way or two ways through. That is not too much. That is how you become authentic. That is how you come back, can go back into self-empowerment and claim your power with what you work, and in the same degrees or with the parallel universes merging with teams of light, with masters and angels, and eventually, you know, getting the right data and exchanging information with them, because that is also your origin. So I hope this was of help for you, that assists you to realize, when working with just one way in a foundation in the crystalline grid, you can go very, very fast and then start to heal the breathing system through. So next video I will get into detail to reset your breathing system so you can breathe like 10 miles in circumference. So if you liked it, thank you so much for subscribing and liking the video, and especially leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of ways you work with, what do you do to get into your empowerment. Okay, thank you.